Hi there, this is Colin Rennie here, and welcome to another video on slotting. This one on angled slotting, the second one. So I'm going to show you here how to array objects around various points using various tools. I'm going to use a copy tool. I'm also going to use the array tool within Rhino. So the first thing we're going to do, though, I need to correct a problem that I neglected to solve in the last video, which was that I'd left some holes in this first one. These are not solids, these are open poly surfaces, and the reason for that is I didn't cap the split intersection shapes that I had before, and I should have capped them before I used them to Boolean, because they've left holes in these pieces. So the first thing I'm going to do is to cap all these objects here just by typing in cap. I'm just checking, creating 4 caps resulting in 3 closed poly surfaces, which is what I want. So there's end caps in all of these things. So now I can work with these with a bit more confidence. What I'm going to do is to rotate this object here around the axis of this plane here, this object here. And there's a plane created between the 2 center points, or rather an axis created between the 2 center points, which is normal to the surface of the plane, the top and bottom plane of this. So that's the axis that I want to rotate this object around. And to do that, I need to use a rotate 3D tool. That's this tool here. Rotate 2D, we're familiar with, rotates an object around a central point on a plane that's 2-dimensional. In this case, the XY plane. The 3D plane is kind of like 2D, the 2D one, but the third dimension is specified by you. So you have to specify the axis. And that is what I'm going to do now. So that's the move tool. That's right click on this, which is rotate 3D. So the object I want to rotate is this object here. Press enter when done. And I want to rotate it through the 2 centers of these, the front center, back center there, and the front center there. So that creates an axis that you can see. The next point that you pick up is a point on the object itself. It can be anywhere, but I want to pick it up from the object itself because that makes the move a little bit simpler for me. I've got copy equals yes checked here, so it means that when I rotate round, these will copy as I rotate them. So it forms a kind of array as you do it. But the points of the array are arbitrary. They're chosen by my clicks. They're not chosen by the computer. So I'm going to choose this one here. And now I'm going to watch from the side just to make sure that I don't have any overlaps, because I don't really want overlaps. Take that one there, that one there. I'll do one more. Let's do this one kind of about there, I think. Press enter when done. Now I have these objects here, which are slotted, but this central piece here, or this vertical part here, is not slotted, or it's slotted for 2 parts but not for the other 4. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts in here. I need 4 more slots in this. So there's 2 ways of creating this. I can create this with a Boolean difference within these pieces, but sometimes that can create artifacts. Let's have a look and see what it does. I'm going to choose Boolean difference here, choose this object here, this, and this, and press enter when done. And yes, it's created artifacts. You can see these surfaces here. If I would take this and explode it, you can see it's actually split the surface and rejoined it here. So this is a surface. These 2 parts here are surfaces. If I delete them, you can see straight through them. Okay, so that's not a huge problem, but it's something you might encompass problems with it later, and you can get around it by untrimming and doing various tricks like that. But for the sake of argument, it's probably better to do it properly to start with. So let's show you how to do this in the correct way. The Boolean difference will work. It won't give you too many problems. It will certainly 3D print, but it would be better to show you this. So what I'm going to do is the same technique that we used before. I'm going to find the intersections between these parts here. So I'm going to use the Boolean intersection, which is this one here, and I want the intersection up. But before I do that, remember, Boolean intersection is a destructive process, so I need to make copies of these before I destroy them. So I'm going to go Control C, Control V, and then I'm going to hide those objects. So now I have copies hidden. I can now go ahead and find the intersection points between these objects. So Boolean intersection is this one, between this object, this one, not that one. Control deselect that, this one, this one, this one. Press enter when done, and now I have the intersection points. I'm going to take those and colour those red. just so we can see them. Change object layer, and now they're red. You can see them underneath. If I bring back these objects here, you can now see the intersection points, and I need to take the intersection points away from this object here, so the intersection volumes rather away from those or polysurfaces. So I'm going to use Boolean Difference for this one, and this is the object I want to subtract from, and the red object here, 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 and here are the objects I want to subtract from. If I click enter, there they are, and then now they've disappeared. I now have a slotted object. So this is slotted, this is slotted, they will all fit together. I'm going to show you now though how to do a polar array. So I'm going to array these objects around those, and I'm going to use, the first thing I'm going to do though is to group these together, and that can be very useful later on if you want to do anything more. So now they are, the group tool here will allow you to stick them all together in one form. It doesn't join them, it just temporarily groups them together. So when you move them, they'll move in one unit rather than moving one at a time. And I'm going to array that group around the center of this part here. So I'm going to use the array tool. Array is a transform. Transform is a tab here, and this is polar array. That's rectangular array, that's polar array. There's also array along curve, along surface, and so on and so forth. But we're going to use polar array. Select the objects to array, that's the group. Press enter when done, and I want the center of this as the array. And the number of items, you can change that. I'm going to change it to, say, 3. And press enter to agree that. And you get a pink confirmation part. So if I press enter again, it will confirm this, and it will make those into Rhino, and they'll be permanent. But you can change this before. I can say items equals 3. I'm going to change that one to items equals 5. Enter. And there's 5 of them. I could change that again to items equals 7. Enter. And check that they don't touch, or they don't touch, so that looks good to me. So I'm going to say yes. Offset equals 0, you can change that later. You can play around with these functions here. Rotate equals yes. You could say change that to rotate equals no, and they would all be in the same orientation along the same vector. But we don't want that. We want them to rotate as they array circular. Z offset is the vertical offset. If you wanted them to go up as well, you could do that and create spiral staircases and so on. But we want that one, so I'm going to press enter. And now I've created a nice set there. I'm going to find the original one. That was that one. Put that at the top where it was. That's the original. So what I'm going to do now, though, because I don't have slots in this part here, I've got slots in these ones, but not slots in this one. I need to do the same function again. So just to repeat it, to show you it one more time, I'm going to take this object here. First though, because I'm going to need to find the intersection, I'm going to have to copy all of these. Control C, Control V, and then standard, and hide those. And now I've got one instance of those, and I need to find the intersections between them. So Boolean intersection between this, this, and this. Enter. Take a couple of seconds to work that out, and then it should come back with the intersection points. You can highlight those in red. Change object layer, and now I can bring back the original parts, and now I can do a Boolean difference between those, this part here and the red part, Sometimes it can be a little tricky to find them. There we go. One more. There we go, and that's them all. So now I have created slots in that as well, in the horizontal part. So all of those parts now are ready to be cut. They need to be laid out flat to cut them first, but they are ready effectively to be cut up. The model will work as it is. You could ungroup these if you wanted to and start mucking around with them a bit further, but essentially you don't need to. You can do that later. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video, and the next one I'm going to show you is going to be about contouring and how to create slightly more complex forms that you could waffle as well if you wanted to. So take care for now, see you soon, bye bye.